got a lot to talk about, all right? But the first thing we need to address is the elephant in the room. Iron Chef Sakai is back in Kick Chat today. After 2 days of me having to put up with bullshit, with everyone yelling and telling me that he had left and that he went to someone else's stream and he was throwing some ether a whole bunch of money. So, Iron Chef Sakai, why don't you tell us all about your adventures in the last 24, 48 hours? Really? Because I had to put up with so much bullshit in the last 24 to 48 hours because of this. I'd like to hear exactly what's going on.
Sometimes you can just tell by the way that he starts some of these segments that it's going to be gold dust, because not only is the premise of interrogating one of his largest supporters for outside stream activity an incredibly dumb idea, but you can just tell by the way that he's talking about it that he is, or at least was, genuinely frustrated by the topic, and that's a horrible look. He's trying to fake laugh through it, but you can just tell by the fact that he made this a topic of conversation at all that he clearly has a problem with it. For Christ's sake, he's already called her an ether. And I know that he hasn't said it yet, don't worry, he will, but he claims to not know anything about her, but he's comfortable enough to just declare her an ethot like this? Seems a little unwarranted if you ask me.
He says, "Are you serious?" Well, let's see. You apparently went over to someone else's stream and threw him a bunch of money, which I don't care about. But what I'm being told is that you kept talking about me in a negative way. You kept linking negative videos about me, like detractor videos. So, of course, my detractors made a fucking field day out of this. Now, I'm sitting here trying to maintain my streams, just do my normal shit. And I don't really give a shit about any of it. But I got to put up with a million people coming into my chat, derailing my content for a whole day. Like last night was unbearable. I'm trying to play the Marvel collection. I'm kicking ass. I'm literally spanking people up, down, left, and right. Grandmaster ranking. Oh, do you hear what Iron Chef Sakai is doing right now? He's over in the chat, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, all right? So it's this simple. There's something that I've learned, okay, in the last couple of years, okay? And here's what I've learned. My actions, okay, don't just affect me. My actions affect everyone around me because I'm a public figure on the internet, okay? So I know that if I decide to talk about a certain topic, or I decide to play a certain game, or I decide to criticize something, or I decide to have an interview, or to appear in a piece of content, no matter what it is, DSP has an influence on things all over the internet. Despite the fact that I don't want to, and I don't understand it, I really don't get it, okay? But I just do, right? Like, no matter what I do, it seems like everyone's talking about it, and everyone follows me around, and everyone stalks every little thing that I do, right? I mean, just a couple days ago, I had a capture card malfunction.
Wait, stop, hold up. What does this have to do with Iron Cuck Sakai? Did DSP really derail the entire segment simply to exaggerate his own importance and influence on the internet? And did he really need to use all of those words and waste all of that air to say the same thing that he's already said and retconned 100 different times over? Everybody gets it, DSP. You don't want people to care about you, you don't want people to watch your streams, but they do it anyway and you rely on them to pay your bills. That's the scenario, and that's been the scenario. Nothing has really changed. I just find it so obnoxious that he insists on making this a routine sermon on his stream. If he really doesn't want people to pay attention to him that bad, if he really doesn't want people to hear his opinions, then he should stop going live. It really is that simple. But I'm being negative. We should probably get back to this maybe related story.
Okay, it screen grabbed my Discord, which auto boots when I boot my gaming PC. And let me tell you, since that happened, I've now disabled Discord from auto booting on my gaming PC, so that won't happen again. All right, but literally all it did was show people on my contacts list. That was it. That's all it was. It was no conversations. There was no information. It was just, here's people on Phil's contacts list. People talk, oh my God, did you see he's got this person on his contacts list? Do you think that this is going to happen? What the fuck is wrong with people, right? And the thing is, I have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to. It's crazy, but it's just a fact, all right? It's an inevitability now that no matter what I say and do, no matter what happens, I'm stalked and people microanalyze every piece of information possible, all right?
But wasn't DSP just giving RTU shit the other day for the exact same thing?
Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. He actually has private Discord info on the screen right now. Like, this should not be public knowledge, what's being put out there. He's showing all his contacts. He's showing his entire discussion history. You can see everyone he's ever talked with. That's private info. That should never be put on a stream ever.
I didn't see any personal DMs in there. It seems to be, to me, the exact same type of screen that DSP showed, more or less. So it's such a problem when Rich does it that DSP felt inclined to say something about it on his own show, but it's supposed to be okay when he does it. It was nonsense drama detractor bullshit when Duty made a video about it, but now he's sat here doing the exact same thing. You know, sometimes it's not even the actual actions that he's taking, but rather the sheer hypocrisy on display from sentence to sentence.
Now, let's be very honest here. Okay? Let's be very honest. Continuing on with that, people who are going to come on my streams and be regulars, meaning you're someone who's in the chat all the time and people recognize your name. People who come and support in big ways, right? You're dropping member bombs, you're dropping sub bombs, you're tipping, you're super chatting, which I appreciate and very much allows me to do what I love for a living and keep doing it. So thank you for that. But you have to understand that now you are going to become the subject of focus, the subject of analyzation, the subject of ridicule, and the subject of stalking. Simply because these people are all over my ass, if you become a part of that in a big way, they're going to be on your ass. All right? And this is just something that I think needs to be discussed at this point. Is it right? No, it's not. I completely disagree with it. I don't think that just because someone comes on my stream and is nice to me, that they should then be micro-analyzed and put under the microscope and have every aspect of their life stalked. And you know what I'm saying? I think it's bullshit. But sadly, I don't think the internet is going to change anytime soon. Okay? I don't. I think that the internet is going to be a situation where people are going to continuously do this and get worse and worse as well. All right? It's just going to get worse over time. You know? People got to understand that if you come and you hang out with me, great. But the moment that you start to put yourself out there, right? People will be following you and looking. I always say you got to be careful about the information that you put out there on the internet. If you're going to be in someone's chat room, you got to make sure that that account that you're using in the chat does not directly link to real life information. Don't be having it be the same name as your Facebook or your Instagram, and that has information about you and your geolocation and all of your friends and family. So many people over the years just didn't realize that that information could be used and mobilized to hurt. And then later on, they get stalked or attacked, and they're like, what's going on? I can't even believe that this is happening to me. Well, yeah, these people are no life losers. They have nothing to do but harass people online to try to get attention. A lot of times, the reason they do it is not because of any end game. Like, for example,
I hate to let him ramble on like that, but he was making a point, and surprisingly, I don't even disagree with him. To an extent, of course. I don't think that this problem is nearly as rampant or as widespread as he's making it out to be. I think that most people watching their favorite streamers online will never have an issue watching any sort of content or interacting in chat because of trolls online. This is a problem more frequently associated with DSP's area of work, which is being a lolcow. But I think that everyone can agree that these dents really should not be putting any sort of personal information out on their public accounts. They shouldn't be exposing their real names, addresses, showing their faces, or any of their peculiar interests, especially if they're going to be associating with a known lolcow like this. I know that I kind of say the same thing every time that he brings it up, but it's just good advice for everyone on the internet. And as funny as it is to see his sick, degenerate fans get outed for being freak shows themselves, it could all be avoided with simple internet etiquette.
they've stalked people in my community and like, well, what do they do that for? I don't know because it doesn't affect me. I'm literally not affected by it. As you can see, 16 years and going, I'm not going anywhere, right? But these people think that like attacking and stalking someone gives them some kind of power. They get this crazy like power trip over it. Oh, I actually harassed someone, I stalked them, and I got them to respond because that ultimately is what they're looking for. They want a response. And if you give them any kind of a response, they now feel like they've been justified in their actions because they got what they were looking for. Do you see what I'm saying? So The truth here is no one can really control the nature of the internet, content creation, online social interactions, and stalking. It's sick. It's scary to think about, but it's just something we all got to deal with now. All right. But I got to ask that if you are someone who's putting this public, forward, you're on a stream, you're a contributor, or whatever, you've got to be careful about what you do because the moment that you step outside of that zone of normalcy and you do something else that maybe someone would be like, oh, that's not normal, they're going to freak out about it and they're going to completely blow it up. They're going to just talk about it publicly all the time. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to hide, you can try to change your name. And people have tried that. Oh, I'll change it, my account, and I'll do this and that. These stalkers are going to find out anyway. All right.
Something they deemed as not normal. DSP, your supporters are getting called out for creeping on children and absurd fetish content. This isn't the fact that they pour the milk before the cereal, this is actual degeneracy of the highest caliber. And I feel like I have to make this clear, though I don't condone actually looking into any of these people, but these are public profiles. All of this information is just a couple of clicks away and it's displayed very conveniently for the entire world to see. Why would they post these things or make content that they don't want people to look at? They're just self-reporting time after time, and until the day that they don't do that, these cycles are just going to continue.
So here's the deal. Iron Chef Sakai, big supporter of mine, right? Wants to become a moderator. I make him a moderator on Kick. He's a moderator on Kick for like a month. All of a sudden, he starts being really pissy toward me and doing a lot of negative, toxic stuff towards me. So I told him, I don't know what gives. Like, what's your problem? He freaks out. He starts saying all this negative stuff. So I remove him as a moderator. Then he went on his channel and he had a whole negative stream about me, right? This is months ago. So after that, I'm like, well, forget it. He can't come back with this guy's being a jerk or whatever. Well, he comes back, he apologizes, right? He says, I'm sorry, I was having a really bad time. I'd like to come back, be a part of the community again. Fine. All right. He apologized or whatever. He's coming back. So he comes back, and now it's been a couple of months since then. And he's been a huge supporter of the streams, and everyone knows this. It's popping up on the screen constantly. He's dropping subs, he's tipping, he's doing super chats, right? Great. But you got to understand that the moment that you leave and you go somewhere else and you start acting in any way, people look and see it and they're going to be talking about it constantly. And it's going to rub off on everyone, not just you. It's going to rub off on everyone around you. So here I am for the last 2 days just trying to do my normal streams. And you got these drama queen sissy girls, because that's all they are. They act like sissy girl schoolyard gossipers, right? Did you see what ICS is doing? You see what he's doing over there? What he said is good, and he's throwing money at EDOT, and she's twerking and doing squats, and he shows her more money, and then he said something nasty about Darkside Phil to get a rise, and they said, dun, 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 dun. The truth is, I don't give two fucks.
And you can tell just how little he cares by how he's continuing to waffle on and on, laying out in intricate detail all of the back and forths between him and ICS and all of the other things that the detractors were saying about her doing squats, which I have seen, and they're not nearly as bad as he's making them out to be. She even did the kindness of doing them away from the camera so you weren't staring directly into her ass, which is far better than most e-thoughts would do. It's just so funny to me though that DSP has always claimed not to be responsible for what people do outside of his streams, but now he's very reluctantly issuing a warning. It's just so odd how creeping on kids seems to be a-okay in the DSP space gaming community, but giving another streamer money and introducing them to pigroach style content gets you a public humiliation ritual. What a strange set of morals.
About any of it. All right? In truth, and this has always been my philosophy, and people give me shit for having this philosophy. My philosophy is thus. I'm a content creator, and my limits of what I care about or what I should be responsible for is literally what's in front of me right now. I'm looking at 2 chat rooms on my streams. That's it. What you do outside of my chat should be absolutely none of my business whatsoever. Do you understand? Now, the thing is, I've been taken to task for this. I've been told, well, that's not true, because what if you know that someone who's a viewer of yours is a mass murderer? What if you know that they're a sexual predator? What if you know that they're a drug dealer? What if you know that they're a pedophile? What if you know that they're this or that? Or that? Well, first of all, how would I know that? I'm literally a streamer. I stream every day and I do a podcast and I play games. How would I ever know at all what the people are doing when they're not on my streams, and why did it become my responsibility at some point to stalk every viewer that I have to know that shit? I really don't get it. I still don't. To this day, I don't understand it. Okay? I don't get it. And so, let's be honest, the elephant in the room, the Derek thing, where for years, Derek was on my streams and he was a nice guy. He was always adding to the conversation. He chimed in on certain topics where he got excited. He was a frequent viewer. He never supported. He literally never dropped $1 on my streams. Never. But he was just a nice guy in chat. All right? But people stalked him in his other accounts. They went to his social media, they went to his YouTube page, and they said, "Did you see that he's a sex pest, that he goes after people in the sex worker industry and he harasses them, and he had to massively apologize publicly for stalking them and saying creepy stuff? Did you see he has playlists on his YouTube channel of small girls and shit?" I'm like, no, no, I didn't see that. You want to know why? Because I don't stalk my viewers. I don't want to. I don't care to. It's not my job to. That is ridiculous, in my opinion, that you would go the extra mile to look into someone. I'm one person. Can you imagine if I was responsible to literally look into every person who watches my content? When would I make content?
And this is how he rewrites his history, or at least tries to, because nobody ever asked him to stalk every viewer or look into every single person who's ever tipped him. This is clearly an over-exaggeration, an extreme request to make any critique sound unhinged and unreasonable. The problem with his retelling is that he was made aware of Derek. He was made aware without having to do any research himself. The information was publicly available if he wanted to, but it was pretty much clear as day and it was handed over to him. He claims that it wasn't a part of the stream and it never had any effect on them, but he's knowingly banned hundreds if not thousands of accounts for either relaying the information to him or speaking about how that kind of behavior in his community made people unsafe and shouldn't be tolerated. Of course, I don't have any hard numbers of exactly how many people he's banned throughout the years, but knowing how he used to ban people left and right, I'd think that I'm actually underestimating, if anything. But I can tell you from personal experience watching DSP's content for a while now that the only reason that there wasn't any discussion about Derek in his actual chat was because anybody speaking out on the matter was quickly dealt with. I would just think though that at some point DSP might actually listen to the things he's saying, talking about how Derek was actually a positive member of his community despite his PDF nature, and realize just how awful that actually comes across to a normal person when they get the details on the situation.
Right? So that's always been my philosophy. But hey, people have taken me to task for it and told me I'm wrong. That's the wrong philosophy to have. That if you're actively told that someone is doing something bad, that you've got to look into it and you're responsible for it, well, guess what? Fuck that. Okay, I'm going to lay down the law right now. That's fucking unfair. I don't care what Ptolomeo says. I don't care what Kino Casino says. It's unfair. You can't expect a creator to fucking investigate and stalk their viewers, period. I disagree with it, all right? Now, if somehow other people do the work and figure it out and come to me with evidence and say, no, there is concrete evidence of what's being said here and you should take action, then maybe I will. But I'm not going to go after people like that. Do you understand?
So then he admits that Derek should have been handled ages ago, because that's exactly what happened. People made DSP aware when he hid from the truth until he was confronted live on the Kino Casino. That is what happened. And oddly enough, that's what's happened here as well with ICS. Other people made DSP aware, so should this be another instance of a permanent ban? There is video evidence of it. If there was ever a time for DSP to pull the trigger, it would be right now. I do actually appreciate though that he's finally said how he truly felt on the matter in regards to Derek. Because every interview he did, whether it was with the casino or with Ptolomeo, he couldn't stop agreeing with them, practically cosplaying as a bobblehead when it came to the matter. But now that the dust has settled, now that the resurgence is over and the Kino Casino is plotting and scheming, and now that DSP is crawling back into his snort fort of isolation, he's finally decided to admit what he was thinking the entire time. And I just have to appreciate the honesty. You know, last time I was on That Being Said, shout out, obviously, the question was raised, will Derek make a full comeback? And I thought, surely not. There's no way that DSP could ever justify bringing back PDF Derek, right? If I'm being honest, I've never been more uncertain, because this sure seems like the lead up to me.
And so in this case here, we've got Iron Chef Sakai, who apparently is going off and doing things the last 24, 48 hours. Okay. I don't know if it's true or not because I wasn't there. I didn't look at chat logs. I didn't watch stream archives. I also don't care to. I don't care about a fucking ethot on Kick who's fucking doing squats for money. Okay, I don't. I don't. I don't give a shit. I don't care if she talks shit about me because apparently I'm being told she did. That people made fun of me. Say, oh, did you know that there's an e-beggar named Darkside? Oh, so embarrassed. He's in his 40s and he e-begs. You're fucking squatting on camera for money, you dumb shit. You fucking slut. The fuck are you talking about? You're the one who's doing the embarrassing acts. I'm literally sitting here putting out content. You understand? You're squatting on camera for money.
Is that a flex though? Regardless of how any person feels about ethos or making money on stream using your assets, we'll say, she is making money. She's garnering a viewership and somehow she's already far more entertaining doing it. I did see bits and pieces of her doing her Lego stream and just her talking to whoever that was with her and listening to detractor music and engaging with the chat was actually far more entertainment value than any piece of content that DSP has made in years. And I think that it has everything to do with the fact that she seems to actually be having fun on stream, something that the guy would know nothing about at this point. And it's just hilarious how visibly upset he's getting now, actually lashing out and insulting what she does, according to him, without ever actually looking into her. Maybe he's upset because she saw footage of him and came away saying negative things, but if that was all it took, DSP would be spending all day every day talking about random people. Because I don't think that the average person can watch a DSP segment and think anything other than poorly of him. Of course, we all know that the real reason that DSP is upset about this at all is because he doesn't like disloyal whales. All of that money should be going to him and nobody else.
But anyway, I'm supposed to be the villain in this situation, right? But anyway, so in regards to all of this, I don't give a shit about any of it. I really, really don't. All right. So you could go do whatever you want, but understand when you're doing what you want to do, people are going to stalk you. People are going to regurgitate that. They're going to spin it. They're going to say negative shit. Do you understand? They are. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm not going to take any action today because I don't think it's my job to do that. All right. But to be honest, at the same time, it is fucking annoying as shit. And I don't want to sit here having to try to manage my chat with a bunch of people acting like fucking, like I said, sissy gossip girls. It pisses me off. I got better things to fucking do than waste my time on all this bullshit. Okay, I really do. So at some point, I got to lay down the law, right? So I'm just being honest here. Please be conscious of what you're doing, especially if you're someone who has the eye of my detractors and other people stalking you constantly. You've got to be conscious that what you're doing is going to be analyzed and you're going to freaking be putting this shit all over the internet, all right? And people are going to be talking about it. Okay, so that's that.
And if that's how he truly feels about the whole thing, then he should just remove these bad elements. As a detractor, obviously I would disagree with this, but in all seriousness, if this is a problem that he doesn't want to address, if he really doesn't want to deal with any of this, then he needs to lock down his chat just like he used to and create the safe piggy style space that he's looking for. I hate hearing all of these segments of him constantly talking about how he doesn't want to talk about things because the solution really is just so obvious. He can outright remove these people and deal with whatever repercussions come after it. He can deal with the drama in his chat, or he can just stop going live. But it's public displays like this that continue to feed the very cycle that he claims his own dents should be cautious of now.
Now, at the same time, do you understand? I hope everyone understands why I would be apprehensive of giving moderator status back to someone like Iron Chef Sakai. Do you get it? Because the entire internet's eyes are on this fucking guy now. So everything he does is going to be microanalyzed. Now imagine if I made him a moderator again and how that would blow up and how that would basically backfire. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just at this point, that's why. And I think everyone understands that too. Like, I don't think anyone is going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't get that. No, I think everyone gets it. But I want people to also understand it's not like I'm trying to be a jerk. I understand Iron Chef Sakai is a huge supporter of my content, and I appreciate that. But you got to get that this is the problem. That was what happens when those things get to this level. Like, all he did was go to another stream, right, for a day and throw money at someone and immediately, oh my God, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my God. How about this? Everyone shut the fuck up. All right. I don't have time for your bullshit. I have many important things to do, positive things. I don't want to waste time on any of this nonsense. It really pisses me off. It does. Okay.
He sat here and trying to justify to his own audience why he isn't granting Iron Dent Sakai mod status again. And he's acting as though simply because Iron Dent Sakai gives a lot of money that he's entitled to this position for some reason. His reasoning shouldn't have anything to do with trolls watching their every move or anything like that. It should have everything to do with the fact that when Iron Dent didn't get his daily required attention from DSP, he crashed out and started a stream talking shit about him and how he wanted to infiltrate his mod Discord and this, that, and the other. I mean, you'd have to actually be fucking stupid to allow someone like that back into your community in any capacity, let alone into the mod team. But that's how this has always worked with DSP. Ages ago, people realized that for the right price, you can work your way into his inner circle, his elite council of dents. And really, ever since then, there have been poor souls falling into this practice. The state of the whole thing is honestly just ridiculous and should have never have even happened to begin with. But that same thing can be said for just about every situation that DSP gets himself into.
So let's all calm down. Let's all relax. Let's all chill. Let's have a good time today. Today's a very chill day. Really, it is. It's a relaxing day. All right. And I'm not going to now have this be ruined by drama. All right. I'm saying it up front right now. If people start drama, I'm just going to fucking remove you. And that's going to be the end of the drama. Because then we won't have to talk about it because we won't have to see you. Okay? I've had enough. You get to your limits. It's like, well, I had one day of it. That's enough for me. I was trying to have fun with multiplayer yesterday, and half the day they're talking about Iron Chef Sakai in my chat. He's not even there. I don't care. And if you bring it up, you're gone. And I won't miss you. I won't. Like, why would I? I'm trying to make content that's positive and fun. I don't want to talk about drama and gossip and bullshit. You guys are absolutely ridiculous. Okay? So, that being said,
shout out again, obviously. And despite his insistence on moving past the drama, Iron Chef Sakai continued to be the star of the show. And later that same day, during the night stream, ICS was finally met with some real consequences.
By the way, Iron Chef Sakai is banned and he's never coming back. He can go fuck himself. I've had enough of his simp bullshit. Really, I have. Like, he's fucking coming in here being toxic all day. He came in here this morning. I tried to defend him. And then all he does is he's toxic all fucking day. The entire stream tonight, he's fucking, oh, the other person is doing it better and their stream is better, then you can stay over there. And don't fucking come back, bitch. Really, this time, don't come crawling back on your hands and knees like you did last time to try to get in my good graces and try to get the sword and try to get on the Discord. You're getting on nothing. Nothing. What you're doing is you can go lick their asses forever because you think they love you, and you can go fuck yourself. No one cares about you. We're done with your bullshit. I don't care how much money you try to throw at me to apologize. It's obvious you're fucking unhinged and we don't want to deal with your bullshit here anymore. So go get fucked. Okay? Cool. He's out of here. I've had enough. I've literally had enough of him and his behavior derailing my content. So he can literally kiss my fucking ass.
Yet another example of a Dent leaving the reservation and being met with open hostility for the entire world to see. We'll give DSP the benefit of the doubt and say, sure, maybe ICS was being negative all day in chat, but was this necessary? Was this insulting spree a requirement to ban him? And he sat there trying to claim that he was defending Sakai earlier, but did you guys ever hear a defense in anything that we've already listened to? The closest that he got was admitting that he's too lazy to look into known troublemakers. Aside from that, he was essentially just warning the Dents to quit acting a fool so he didn't have to answer for their crimes. I mean that figuratively, of course, but also literally in some cases. But that's still not exactly what I would call a defense. And of course, this rant must also evolve into needless insults and hatred because DSP is incapable of keeping his emotions in check while addressing pretty much anything.
And then he just keeps coming back and throwing money. It's like, what am I going to do? And then finally, this is the last straw. He's basically trying to turn my streams into drama again, and I'm just not going to have it. No one knew who this person was until he went over there and started throwing money and talking shit about me, because that's what he did last night. He went in there and he started showing this streamer detractor videos of me. So, of course, this streamer is going to start talking. So what happens? All my detractors go over there and start throwing this person money, because that's what they do. Anyone who says something negative about me, they throw them money, right? So now all day today, I got to see in my chat about this person. Fuck this shit. Fuck these disingenuous people who pretend like they're content creators and they're doing anything they can to make $1. Whether it's, abusing simps on the internet, fucking showing off their bodies and shit. That is 100% slutty behavior, and it's borderline sex work. Okay, it's exactly what it is because you're doing it because you know there's people out there that are pathetic and think that they're fantasizing about you and that you're gonna get fucking we're gonna get a relationship with that person. Of course they're not, but you don't care. You take their money anyway and you enjoy it and you go to the bank with it. I mean, Amaranth, give me a fucking break, right? Pokemon, they all do it. So no one's fucking stupid here. We know what the content is. If you want a bunch of Sims, go for it. And those Sims will not be watching my content because when they act like that, they will get my foot to their fucking ass and they'll never come back. Enough is enough. The drama is over. I don't care how much money he fucking throws at me. Iron Chef Sakai is Iron Chef cooked tonight and isn't coming back.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Period. I've got better things to do with my time than deal with this bullshit. Okay.
Again, say what you want about titty streamers and how it's borderline sex work, but is that any more objectionable than literally begging? Sex work is one of, if not the oldest profession for a reason. There will always be sad, pathetic losers to take advantage of, and that sad, pathetic loser is Iron Dent Sakai. But at least these women that he's talking about have beauty to look at in exchange for the money. Maybe they even have some sort of physical touch for you. But what does DSP offer? Even when not directly asking for money, the goals that he offers, the rewards, they're so laughable that I think selling your body is actually more dignified. And it's always crazy to me when he acts as though he has some sort of moral high ground to stand on, like he's not a beggar. And don't worry, I know you were. This isn't the last time that DSP had to address the Iron Dent problem in his content, because for some odd reason, he felt that it was important enough to talk about even on his daily wrap, making all 3 parts of his daily content schedule contain an ICS segment. But please remember that he doesn't care, you guys, I swear.
One final thing, and I'm just going to make this abundantly clear. Iron Chef Sakai is gone and is not coming back to my streams. I've had enough of him. This is the second time in a few months he's gone off the deep end. He's talking junk. He's derailing my streams. I've had enough. He's gone. He's not coming back. No more begging. No more throwing money at me to try to get in my good graces. I've officially had enough. Sorry to those who have been distracted by this guy. I know, like, he tried to really distract my stream tonight, and it pissed me off, and I've had enough. So screw him. He's not coming back. Fair enough? All right. And by the way, people are going to be rejoicing at that news because they don't want distractions on my streams. And I agree with you. I don't want it either. Doesn't matter how much he begs this time or tries to throw at me. He ain't coming back. Unless he pays off my mortgage. Anyway.
Well, we all know that that'll never happen. Not because ICS wouldn't give up the money, but because even if he did, even if DSP was given all of that money in full, he would never pay off his mortgage. Instead, he'd replace a million things that don't matter or buy a bunch of new toys and then spend the rest on mobile games. That's just what he does. But I think that that's going to be it for today. I just wanted to laugh at the Iron Dent, hopefully for the last time. Enjoy your band Bozo. Until next time, stay safe. Goodbye.
You're fucking squatting on camera for money, you dumb shit. You fucking slut.